it's one of those things this year with the AFC where I could really see, of the 16 teams, I wouldn't be shocked if there's 13 of the 16 that I could see making the playoffs. And, yeah, I don't know, we'll go over that in a minute. I'll say which 13.
Okay.
But I think it's that bad where I think an 8-8 team can make the playoffs in the AFC. I think 9-7. I think a 9-7 wild card team will make the playoffs.
I agree with that.
And I think that it's bad enough where you really don't know what's gonna happen.
As far as I'm concerned, the AFC East and West are not even worth discussing as far as division winner. It's going to be, barring a injury to a quarterback, the Patriots and the Broncos.
Yeah.
We're in agreement on that, I hope?
Yeah, we're in agreement.
There's no way that the Patriots or Broncos are not winning their division.
I would actually also say that AFC South is pretty much.
Yes,
I
would think that is my prediction as well. I have the Texans
I would be
win the division.
shocked if the Texans didn't.
I wouldn't be shocked,
I'd be
but
shocked.
I think it's a very safe bet that the
I
Texans
see you've
win
got
the
an
division.
85% chance the Texans win that division.
I think that's maybe a little high.
But you agree with me, it's going to be the Texans. Let's go. Do you want to we should still go division by division.
Yes. Okay, so let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
We both agree. Patriots, Broncos, absolute locks for division winners. Barring injuries to the quarterbacks. It's the only way they do not win the division.
Barring, some sort of insane circumstance.
All right. We both agree on the Texans?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the AFC North, in my opinion, the most interesting division in the AFC.
Oh, by far. It's because it's the only division with more than one pretty good team.
Okay, well, I think there's a big debate here. You have the Super Bowl champions, who everyone agrees is going to take a step back.
I agree.
You have the Bengals, who are back-to-back playoff appearances.
On the up and up, I would say.
Yes, you have the Steelers, perennial contender.
Yeah.
And you have the Cleveland Browns.
And the Browns aren't that bad. I don't think they're going to be that bad this year. They're going to be at least competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them winning 7 games.
Right.
It's a possibility. Trent Richardson, whenever.
I'll comment on that in a minute.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm going Bengals. I'm going Bengals.
And I agree. I believe this is the best team in the AFC North.
I think so right now.
I really like this Bengals team.
But it's competitive.
It's not just because of Hard Knocks, which I did watch. But I think that they already had a good base. They have some playoff experience under their belt. I think they have a new running back that is going to be very effective, Giovanni Bernard. I think that they've for a couple years now been on the, if you want to put on the stock, their stock has been rising.
They've been one of those wild card teams, but they don't
last
do
2 years
anything.
they lost to the Texans in the first round.
Yeah, and
but the rest of the division has now taken enough of a step back.
Yeah,
I think
so.
The Bengals are now ready to also take a step forward.
Yeah.
I'm not as big a fan of the Colts as last year's team, but I still think by default I have them as one of the wild cards. And they might not be as good as last year. They may only be 9-7. But I do think that the Colts will make the playoffs just based on the overall weakness of the AFC. So that gives me 5 of the same last teams from last year, leaving 1 spot for me.
Boy, you're unexciting.
Yeah, I know. Really exciting, right? And I hate doing that, but I just the AFC is so weak. Now, once we get past those, and I have a feeling you don't have the Colts in the playoffs, but I'm just saying, from the rest of this group, you have to pick 2 teams. I have to pick 1 more. I'd like you to go first.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I already picked 5, because I have the Colts as my 5.
Well, you can leave them out.
So who are you going with? I'm curious. No, I'm not guessing.
Titans, Chargers. What it is for me is that you get out the Raiders, you get out the Bills, you get out the Jets. And then you sort of put the Jags.
I put the Jags in that group too.
And then you throw them all in a big sack. You throw all the little helmets in a big sack, and you pick out 2.
1.
I pick out 2.
2.
And those are my wild card teams because for me, these 4 are the teams that matter. You get 2 wild card teams that'll lose the first round anyway. The Chargers, they're sort of like the Bears.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear your arguments for. Since you're arguing against everybody else, what are your arguments for the Chargers? Let's start with the Chargers.
The Chargers every year they seem to be like. They're like the Bears.
They have talent. They have talent.
Where they're always between
under. What's the word? Underachieving, I guess.
Yeah, they're
underachieving.
They're always between 7 and 9, 9 and 7. And
North Turner's gone. Finally,
love that.
Of course.
But they're just sort of one of those teams that just they're pretty good, but they don't make it. They're never awful. So I don't know. I just picked them.
I mean,
this year.
Phillip Rivers has not been good for 2 or 3 years now.
He hasn't.
Antonio Gates is only getting older.
Yeah.
The running back, my feelings of Mr. Ryan Matthews.
I thought you love Ryan Matthews.
Who, he just got hurt again. Or, he just fumbled the ball again. I don't like Ryan Matthews. There's just, I don't like the Chargers' mojo. I don't like their receivers. I don't like their mojo as a franchise right now. Their quarterback, I think, is partially maybe even injured. I'm not telling anybody. His arm strength has been zapped. They're getting old. Gates is old. I don't like the receivers. I just don't see it from the Chargers where even if they're better than they were, and I don't like the defense anymore.
It's one of those things. Like I said, it's not so much that I like the Chargers. It's that I
You hate the AFC so much.
I don't like anyone. So I might as well pick two teams that no one else is picking, and then when it happens, I'll look really smart.
Right.
And people will say, "Wow, how did Jeff get all 6? He's a genius."
I'm baffled at the Titans over the Colts in the same division.
I love Chris Johnson this year.
Okay, so that's one player. That's one player.
So what? The Colts, who do they? Andrew Luck. That's their one player.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne's going to be a million years old. He's finally going to go down this year.
No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not. Reggie Wayne. Listen, fantasy owners out there, you can keep drafting Reggie Wayne. Nothing to worry about there.
Don't draft him too high. I just think the last year was a magical year for the Colts.
Oh, absolutely it was. I don't think the Colts will be as good as last year.
I don't think any of these teams are good. That's the thing, is I don't think any of them are good. I don't think it matters. You can pick any two you want. Mm-hmm. You could pick, like I said, you could pick the Browns, and it wouldn't shock me if the Browns go 8-8 somehow and make the playoffs.
I'm glad you brought that up, because my sixth playoff team is the Cleveland Browns. I have the Cleveland Browns. Yes, I know I'm going to sound crazy. The Cleveland Browns will make the playoffs at 8-8. You know why? Because I think the worst team in the AFC North is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Steelers finishing in last. Last place.
Yeah.
I think no running game, getting older on defense, offensive line is so terrible, can't protect Big Ben. He's going to miss probably 2 or 3 games with his 5 million injuries. The Browns are on the rise on offense. They got Trent Richardson. I like Josh Gordon. Brandon Whedon's better than I thought he was going to be. Mm-hmm. They have a new offensive coordinator who, as much as I hate Norv Turner, is a good offensive coordinator. They got new head coach Rob Jaginski, did a pretty good job with Cam Newton in Carolina. And their defense has quietly been not terrible the last couple of years. Uh-huh. I like Joe Hayden as a shutdown corner. I like DeQuell Jackson as a middle linebacker. 2 very important positions to have an impact player. And just, like you said, the AFC is such a blab past the top tier to me.
Yeah.
You can make an order for anybody. And when I was looking at the teams, I was like, why not the Cleveland Browns?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Broncos and Pats are my buys.
Okay. And then I have these two, obviously. I
have the Bengals as my 3 seed. I have the Titans as my 4. Texans as my 4 seed.
That's actually exactly what I have.
Okay. I hate when we agree on stuff. Ugh.
But,
okay. I also have wildcard teams out round 1.
I have both these teams getting crushed.
Okay, so we both agree that the 4 division winners, the 4 best teams, the 4 teams that have, well, actually no, because it's been the Ravens, but these 3 teams have now been in the divisional round for the 3rd straight year this would happen. Mm-hmm. You have the Bengals basically replacing the Ravens.
Yeah.
So I have Texans Broncos as a game, and then Bengals Patriots. Well, you have the Texans as your 4.
I had the Pats as my 1.
Oh, you Pats as your 1.
Yeah. I have them beating the Broncos later in the year.
You had the Pats beating the Broncos.
And I have them both at 12 and 4.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the playoffs already.
No,
okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so the agreement that, all right, we're agreeing these are the 4 teams. So who is your AFC Championship game picks?
I think it's, what was this what I would have as the...
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if I have the Pats as the 1, no, it would be this.
You have it this way. I have it this way.
Okay. So I have, I'm pretty sure I will take Bengals.
Okay.
And I will take Patriots.
And see, I have it this way. So I will take the Broncos. Mm-hmm. And I agree, I have the Bengals in the AFC Championship game.
There you go.
I don't like they were both picking that.
Well, as my AFC champion.
You have the Bengals
I have the
Super
Bengals.
Bowl.
And you know what, though? I made that pick a while ago. You acted like I was a little bit crazy.
A little bit, but I didn't think it was crazy because I like them. I like them going this year.
And now I'm going to stick with that pick because I don't see any reason why it can't be the Bengals.
What worries me is the Bengals going to New England and to Denver.
No, I know. That's
both
tough.
Games. That's going to be really tough for them.
What it is I do like the Bengals defense a lot. And I think the Bengals are a tougher team than both the Patriots and the Broncos. And I can see it happening. And it happens so much, it's so frequently that the team goes on the road. Like, let's face it, the Broncos, they were the best team last year, and they got beat at home. And everybody
that's my concern about the Broncos.
They got beat at home. And the Bengals are a similar sort of team as the Ravens were last year. If not, they're a younger team. So that wouldn't surprise me.
And I like that Bengals team. It just having to go on the road
twice in a
Twice
row.
in a
That's what
row.
scares you. Yeah.
and just the fact that they have not won a playoff game yet.
Mm-hmm.
And just until Dalton, who I think is a good quarterback, but he hasn't taken that step to be a Super Bowl quarterback yet, that was what concerned about the Bengals. So I think good run at AFC. I know it's a boring pick, but it's a safe pick to me.
It's the safe pick.
Just the Broncos were so good last year. They got so just, I would say, blindsided by the Ravens win in the playoffs, and they added Wes Welker. That offense did not need Wes Welker.
Yeah.
That was one of the best offenses in the league without the best slot receiver in the league. It's just, there's so much firepower there. As long as Peyton Manning stays healthy, which is my main concern, and Peyton Manning in the playoffs has a very spotty track record.
Yeah.
That would be my main concern.
That is true.
Peyton Manning actually going to come through in the playoffs? As long as when the Broncos Super Bowl, you have the Bengals.
But with the AFC, let's just agree is that it's funny because there really is. There's 4 teams.
I don't see anyone besides these 4 making the Super
And I
Bowl.
could totally see any of these 4 making.
Yeah, like
I mean, I
like
could
we
see-
disparage the Texans a little bit.
But the Texans
But-
are a good team.
Yes,
I mean,
Matt
they're
Schaub's
still
going to have to
good
take a
team.
major step up for them
Yeah.
to be a Super Bowl team. But they're obviously a good team. They have a very good
I could
defense,
see any of
too.
these 4 teams in the Super Bowl. I
Yes.
really can't see anybody else.
Exactly.
Right now.
You can't. I can't even see a
anybody
team
else,
making a run.
I can see anybody else making the wild card and losing
Pretty
the first
much.
round.
Yes. I could even see maybe a huge upset happens round 1. Where one of these teams do
Maybe.
lose, like the Texans don't have the running game. Something like that happens.
Mhm.
But there is no Super Bowl team in the
Yeah,
remaining
I won't, don't worry,
the
I won't
remaining
pick-
12.
I won't pick the Titans to go to the Super Bowl.
I hope not. This is 2000.
Yeah. All right, so
I have the
AFC.
All right, you have the Bengals. I have the Broncos.
Yep.
We're going to leave them here because for our Super Bowl picks later,
Okay.
they get to stay.